It's just a standard scripts. There's nothing changed in them.
Oh, yeah, there will be.
I've got, well, I'm looking at AP Defense Zone 001 Operation Midnight Talon. And
Now, give me a sec.
it looks like
Give
the
me a
standard
sec.
mission.
Karma scripts. Right. Okay. That's the fat cow script. Let's get out of that. Defense Zone 002. Select as, hang on, where 002. Select for compare. Midnight Talon 003. Compare with selected. And we'll get rid of, close that chat off. Get rid of that. Right, so if you're looking at 002 and 003.
I was looking at 001 Operation Midnight Talon.
Okay, well, if you look at, hang on, I'll get you 001 out and I'll do that one. 001 Operation Midnight Talon. Select for compare. And what are you comparing it with?
I'm just looking at the script. I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, well, you probably won't see it if you're not doing a compare.
Why do I need to compare?
Well, because it's only very minor thing that I had to do. Compare with selected. So if you look at, where am I? Okay, so look at lines 96 down to line 110. You'll notice that the script in there actually says AP 001 Airport AAA for sequence blah blah blah, which is the same as what you've got, kind of, right? And then it actually does, in the new version, it actually looks at it looks to see what coalition it is for the nearest air base. If the coalition is nil, coalition equals or equals blue, then trigger to skip the red deploy, but otherwise go about your business as normal, which is the local group RAAA, blah blah blah, etc. etc.
Yeah, these scripts I'm looking at, the ones you sent me, it's the old ones because it didn't have any of that in here.
Okay, hang on. I'll send this to you, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. This is why
I'm looking at 97 to 10. Well, I'm looking at, mine is 98 to 107.
Okay. There's an image where I've got the compare of the two different, that's 001 and 003 is where the compare is. The red one is 001 and the other one where it's 003 is green. You'll see that on the green side there's a gap where it doesn't have matching details, it's blank.
Yeah.
Right, so that's where I've changed it, because that's where it does the check to see whether or not there's blue or red, and there's also another little bit that's down the bottom here that does the actual triggering or the searching, which is 270 through to 306. And if I didn't send those two files to you, excuse my friggin' ignorance, let's go.
Yeah, these are the originals.
Reveal in Explorer.
So did you have to do this on the AA and then all the other ones below it in the same file? I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well, the way it works, if you look at your MIS file there, I've just uploaded those two MIS files, the ones that I've modified, directly to your Discord. But the way it works is, in your MIS file, when you look at all of your bases that you've got all those gazillion friggin' zones, little tiny zones at, you've got them originally I was going to, I only have to do it for one airfield each time. But,
Yeah.
and I was going to go, okay, well, if you scan one thing and it says that, AP001 comes up and it says that it's red, continue doing what you're doing. But if it says that it's blue, then don't, basically quit the zip file or the script file. But the way that it's turned out is that you've got AP001 on one airfield, and then a bit further down you've got AP001 on that one as well, and then you go down to another airfield and it says that you've got some AP001s on there, and then you've also got some AP002s there, and then you've got some AP002s here, and they're sort of like you've got lots of them.
Yeah.
And they're not just on the 002s aren't restricted to St. Catherine, for instance. So what I ended up doing was, okay, it makes it a little bit more in depth, and I can't just sort of go, okay, well, if you find one, then don't worry about doing any more. It's actually tests every single zone to see what the closest coalition of the closest airfield or airbase is, and if it's red, it continues to spawn a red unit. If it's blue, it skips it. So that's the way it works at the moment. Basically, if it's blue, skip. If it's red, continue.
Yeah. I was just talking about, I've got AAA, I've got flak, I've got ground units. As I was saying, did you have to write each piece of this code in all of that?
If you see up the top there, you've got in the script files, you've actually got all of your units that you're using down there. They all start with AP001 or AP002, and then your ground units in your the names of the ground units are sort of, they start with R dash something or other. It's like RL Sam and R Flak and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it just skips. It uses just the prefixes of all of your names of your red units. So it looks at it and goes, oh yeah, that's a red unit. But the biggest thing about it is all it's doing, the big thing is it's just going, if this zone is close to a blue airport, skip it, so it doesn't do any of the rest. Whatever you had going on in that script file gets skipped. If it doesn't, if it's near a red base, it goes, okay, well, just continue as normal. So it was really, what I did was easy as, it was just hard to follow what you were actually doing originally.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying. I mean, it works, and I'll continue doing. I'll build the rest of the missions up, the rest of those up to do it the same thing, because I can
the other
tell.
thing I wanted to do is find a way to, if you're 150 miles out from the airport, show the red aircraft or the red ground units. But if there's a blue player more than 150 or less than 150 miles, it'll show that airport, any red airports in the zone. All the other ones don't load until you get within.
Yeah, well, that's where you need to use zone control for that, because I'm actually playing around with it in another mission I've got, where you put down a zone for every airfield, and that's the easiest way to do it, is to look at who owns the airfield as to what's actually in it, and if it's owned by red but there's no blue players around, don't spawn, or turn, if you do spawn, turn off the AI in the units. And if there's a blue player comes within I think it's one zone. That's why I'm working it. You know, it's one zone away. So it's like there's a zone between you and the zone that we're talking about. If that's the case, that there's only one zone buffer, then activate the AI. Otherwise, have all the AI turned off. And I'm playing around with that to see if it makes any difference. But in order to really find out whether it makes any differences, I've got to make a mission that has just got fuck ton of fucking AI units in it, and that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But I'm working on it. I'm slowly going through it, and it's kind of it's a pain in the ass. It's the best thing I can suggest. It's the best way I can say it. Where am I?
Oh, good. Well, I want to call for the night.
No worries.
Get you guys later on.
Yeah. All right. Oh. What's going on, Firestorm? I know you're still here.
Yeah, I got my alternate pilot. It's his nephew on pilot right now.
Oh, okay. So, how you liking it? Are you hooked yet?
Oh, I'm hooked, but this is not easy. I'll tell you that much.
See, that's another thing that's going to give you inspiration. Is it'll be like, this is not fucking easy, but it's fucking awesome.
It's definitely rewarding. Like I just took off.
Yeah. That's the bit that's so good about it. Fuck, what did I do with those scripts? Fuck, where's my fucking dynamic air for dynamic zone control ground. There it is. Ha, found it. Create a folder and call it dynamic. Enter. Oh, okay. New folder. Dynamic. Reveal. What happened to my dynamic ground control? Okay. Search for 250 0728 25 0728. Copy. Strings. Dot. Strings. Ah, why? I swear I made fucking.
I've submitted higher. Or, I don't know.
The fuck did I make that for? I'm going to jump off for a bit. I'll talk to you next time you're on, Firestorm. Just going to jump off. I'll talk to you next time I'm on,
Okay, sounds cool, man.
or that you're on.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Talk to you later, dude. What'd you get? Just the landing was hard. Yeah, so you just gotta watch it.
Radar trucking.
On that little black screen right in front of me here. Give it. See, it says caution top left there. Yeah. It's just warning you. There's bad weather. Too much storms. If you want to get rid of it, basically your force. It's really just 2 miles.
Radar trucking. Threat detection degraded. taken.
Why are you doing this? Why?
Radar taken. Radar taken.
Yeah, so it's on it. Just barely after. Radar taken. Radar taken. Threat detection degraded.